Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach, wa Malak Yahushai. Second, this is Brother Yardan, W. Detroit, coming back at you with yet another cold cut. Today in this cold cut, we will be discussing the recent events that's been happening in California, to be more specific, Pasadena. Now, if you call yourself to be an Israelite, you will understand that this is wonderful news, beautiful news. Anytime a city is engulfed with flames, we understand it to be a foreshadowing of what's to come. Now, for those who don't know, foreshadowing is what Esau may refer to as a literacy device that pretty much foretells what's going to happen in the future. Now, we know this to be a foreshadowing. If you know scriptures, you've been in the truth for quite a while, you'll understand that any city in Babylon being engulfed in flames foreshadows what's going to happen to America. Thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Now, this picture that I have in front of us is a picture taken the sunrise over Los Angeles. This is due to the accumulation of smoke from the fires, and to be honest, it's beautiful. I love it. Just imagine if it was all on fire. Now, you might be thinking, well, this guy's a pyrotechnician. He's a pyromaniac. He loves fire. He's probably an arsonist. Well, hold on, slow your rolls. If I'm an arsonist, then what does that make the Most High? Because he said he's going to burn Babylon the Great, cleanse it with fire. So, being followers of our God, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we're going to love to see that this wicked place is set on fire, engulfed in flames, and not just Pasadena, D.C., and all these other major cities, and that we get delivered into the chariots. That said, here's the aftermath. Aerial drone footage reveals the devastation in Pacific, a once wealthy area northwest of Santa Monica with a population exceeding 23,000. Some residents estimate that as much as 75% of the neighborhood has been reduced to rubble. See that? It's been reduced to rubble, which is Yapa. Yapa is beautiful in Hebrew. Pacific Palisades fire is now most destructive in Los Angeles city history, with an estimate 1,000 structures destroyed. Again, this is almost brings tears to our eyes. Now if you're a Christian, if you want everybody to be saved, this isn't the video to be watching. If you're an Israelite and you understand that the Lord is going to send fire, hey, keep watching, because there's some precepts that align with this. Let's get 2 Ezra, chapter 14, verse 2. Start verse, 2 Ezra chapter 16, begin at verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Now, you have these, I believe they call them first responders, such as police, EMT, even the fire department. They're doing their best to get people out of there, to quench the fire. And it may very well possibly be done, but not in the time that they really wanted to. But nevertheless, that fire that the Lord is going to send is going to be unquenchable. There's no amount of fire departments, there's no amount of water that can quench the flame that the Lord is going to set upon Babylon the Great. This is a plague. Us seeing that sun over the skyline of Los Angeles, which is, by the way, a wicked-ass city in a wicked-ass state in a wicked-ass country. All right, Los Angeles, the city that was burnt, keep forgetting the name, Hollywood. California is just known for its wickedness and its demonic force and spirit. Now, when you're dealing with idols and idolatry, you're supposed to burn these idols. So the Lord is about burning things. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7. Let's jump all the way down to verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Imagine all the churches, and keep in mind, keep this in mind. Gad was living all throughout there, and it was removed, and now it's being burned up. So there's no sympathy coming from me. You got to deal with it. Now, in addition to that, I want to transition to that sun, which is very important. Let's pull that picture back up. This sun right here, a few precepts came into my mind when I seen this. I want to bring it out. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So this is the sun and the moon. And they were made for times, seasons, to discern the day from the night, and even for years. So when you read the Bible and dive into Joel and Matthew, which I'll get through the Spirit, you'll find that the sun and the moon, they're going to foreshadow the coming of the Lord. Let's get Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Now, to ask that for the end of the world, you have to surely must understand. And these prophets, these Israelites, they weren't fools. You know, they didn't have any disabilities. They understood they was already Israel. They understood the law and the commandments. Right, Yahushua came on the scene to magnify him and to further elaborate, the teachings of the Most High through the Spirit. And so when you ask a question, when it's the end of the world, you have to understand that there's some type of destruction that has to come with it. Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. That's the first thing he told them. Don't let nobody deceive you, right? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And that's what Caesar Borgia did, right? And his artist, the man that painted Caesar Borgia, he deceived many, right? Moving in the spirit of the devil, telling the people, well, God is love, and love is love, and God's going to come back in a white, pearly cloud, and everybody's going to ascend. That's why you have movies on it. The rapture, the resurrection, things of that nature. Now, verse 6 or verse 5 says this, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the Lord is telling us there's going to be rumors of wars. And it's going to be nation against nation, as you read in verse 7. But I'm going to jump down. Jump down to verse, what should I get? 29. Let me get verse 24 first, which reads, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Now we know the elect, the 144, the 1/3, they're not going to be deceived by the antics and mischievous tactics that Esau has up his sleeve, such as these drones, Project Bluebeam, which may visualize or have some type of imagery to depict Christ's return. But if it were possible, it would deceive the elect. But the elect, because they have the Spirit of God on them, they will not be deceived. Jumping down to verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be turned darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And so this is deep on many levels. On one fold, right, you got the solar eclipse, you got the moon not giving his, that's essentially what that's speaking on, the moon not giving his light and the sun being darkened. That's the only time that, is materializing in this world. When a moon goes over the sun, therefore not giving his light, and the sun being darkened, which is a great sign of doom and destruction. Now the Lord, Esau may say, well, we can calculate the solar eclipse. We can calculate this in a third. Esau's not going to be able to calculate it, right? Because the Lord, he's in control of the operations of the sun and the moon. You understand? But nevertheless, when we see it, it's a sign for us to know that his coming is soon. He's going to come to Babylon, America, and burn this place utterly with fire and brimstone. And for good reason as well, because it reads in Revelation chapter, let me get this, 11 and 8. It reads this. And there is referring to the Israelites, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And it's referred to as Sodom and Egypt because America carries forth that spirit of ancient Sodom and Egypt. Egypt, by reestablishing their architecture, the symbolism, and sow it into the American culture. That can be seen with the American dollar, that illustrates the unfinished pyramid with the all-seeing eye, and obviously that represents some sort of cryptic message in itself. All right. Not only that, when you read in Genesis, let's just get it. For the sake, get it real quick. I don't want to talk about it. We want to be about it. Genesis 19. I'll give verse 1 for context. This is what happened in Sodom. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. So back in the ancient world, they could understand and perceive what an angel was. He had the spirit upon him. It's one of the sons of God. Reading on to verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. It's not talking about know them, like let me see your social security, let me see your ID. That's talking about doing freaky activities with them, right? P. Diddy type of activities. Verse 6. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after them, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Do what so wickedly? What wickedness could they have in their mind? Obviously, land with another man. So that goes to show what spirit Sodom was moving in. It was moving in that homosexual spirit, the same way that America, Babylon moves in that homosexual spirit. And what land pushes that the most? Or what states? These liberal states. And what industry pushes that the most? The music industry and the entertainment industry. Where is the mecca of this? Hollywood and Cali. All these lewd, creepy activities are being performed in that state. So seeing a fire over there, it's not too surprising. Let's get the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. See that? That's plain upon tables. Even a red moon, a blood moon, is a sign within itself. And the Lord can just have the sun dark, and the Lord can do whatever he wants, Let me read verse 30, actually. And I will shew wonders in heaven and in earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. So if you're saying, well, you're an arsonist, I don't like the way that you're praising these fire that's going on. A lot of people have to leave their homes. Well, this is prophecy. We're going to rejoice from the prophecy that's being fulfilled slowly but surely. And we're only going to turn up day by day. Because guess what? Nobody is happy here in America, Babylon. Not even the citizens, not even Esau, his own citizens are happy and thrilled. You have that one Edomite that slain the other CEO. You think he was thrilled to be in Babylon the Great? No, nobody loves it here. So when we see these destructions and natural fires by the hand of God, I mean, we're going to dance, we're going to shout, we're going to drink some yayan, maybe some rum. Brother's going to have a party. Brother's going to have a ball. Because we have the spiritual understanding and the eye salve to perceive that this is foreshadowing what's going to happen to Babylon, America the Great. And I want to add one more thing. Hollywood, even the name in itself, Hollywood derives from the ancient tree, if I'm not mistaken, Hollywood, which was a material used by the ancient Druids, which were just another name for warlocks and wizards to perform ritualistic rites and a whole lot of idolatry. That's quite literally where the name Hollywood derives from. And obviously, wizards, witches, warlocks, their goal and duty is to deceive the masses, to use witchcraft to bewitch somebody, to turn their mind over. Again, this is exactly what Hollywood does. This is exactly what the media does. It turns our mind over and inside out. Something from nothing. That's why when you see on movies, it's like in music, every so often, every few years or every other year, you got a new industry plan. And it's always the Eve, and she's always ghetto. She's always shaking her rump. And that's the idol of the youth. That's the idol of the young kids today, to worship and shake their rump like her. That's why they got all these love and hip hops, all this madness, because they know Jake gonna watch it. They know America knows these niggas, they not gonna read. They will watch some TV. They will scroll through social media. So let's give them something to really watch. Let's give them something to keep them sedated. That goes back to Revelation 11 and 8, just keeping us sedated. Just dead in this land, which is spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah, where they destroyed, crucified the image of our Lord Yahushua. And that was done by, again, as I mentioned before, recreating his image to be a soft white man. That's why our people, psychologically speaking, they see the white man as, if you're in a world, that is, you may see him as harmless. You may see him as docile. But lo and behold, he has 2 horns, a forked tongue, and a knife behind his back. You understand? And not only that, Sodom and Egypt, they have something in similarity. They have a reputation for hating Israelites. They have a representation of doing harm unto us and to our Lord. They even tried to harm the angels of God. The messengers of God, they tried to harm them. So how much more would you think they're going to do to the children of God? But with that, I'm a bit Israel Shalom. Abaratazah, Israel's been edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.